updates and community. When he's in your city, you won't miss a thing. Just text the number, let your phone ring, 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 ring. 949298290. That's 9492980. Events, connection, and opportunity, all in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. Buy for life. 949298290. That's 9492980. Wanna know where David's gonna be? Get invites, updates, and community. When he's in your city, you won't miss a thing. Just text the number, let your phone ring, 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 ring. 949298290. That's 9492980. Events, connection, and opportunity, all in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. Buy for life. 949298290. That's 9492980. Wanna know where David's gonna be? Get invites, updates, and community. When he's in your city, you won't miss a thing. Just text the number, let your phone ring, 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 ring. 949298290. That's 9492980. Events, connection, and opportunity, all in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. Buy for life. 949298290. That's 949298290. Hey! 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 Wanna know where David's gonna be? Get invites, updates, and community. When he's in your city, you won't miss a thing. Just text the number, let your phone ring, 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 ring. 949298290. That's 9492980. Events, connection, and opportunity, all in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. Buy for life. your phone ring, 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 ring. 949298290. That's 949298290. Hey. Events, connection, and opportunity. All in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. 949298290. That's 949298290.
Now I'm at the point you wanna be with me. I'm vibing out at a higher frequency, cause everything that I want and I'm gonna be, it's when I wake up, that's when I start to dream. Someone you love is talking down, here is the plan. Let it fall through like a handful of sand. Nothing happens overnight, what you must understand. If you dwell on the bad, then you don't stand a chance. Something you want upset, saying why it ain't mine yet. That's because now you have yet to change your mindset. People don't put their mind to rest while they're so wired. A lot of people go to sleep and wake up tired. Power of positivity and persistence. Say that I can, we'll just sit back and witness. Make an impact when our time is done. Make money, help people, and have lots of fun. Whoa.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
There's so much more effort someone will give if it is not seen as the job, but the thing that they enjoy doing with their life.
We both view all of it that way. It's like, how in this interaction am I going to add excessive value to the person on the other side? And neither of us, I think, accept anything less than that.
I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Very simply, getting people's mind realigned and showing them evidence of what they can do so that they know that they can make the right decision in the moment.
I knew I could get better, and I knew, because no matter how late to the game you are, there's a phrase I invite everybody to live by, which is there's always room for the best.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
Overarching umbrella, I would say, about how to accomplish it all is to find things that you're just really passionate about and that you love and you're interested in.
You got to do it because you truly love it. And at some point, if you're thriving in it and if you are being progressive at it, you'll probably get recognized for that.
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.
David Meltzer, it was great to see you all last night, man. Thank you for the invite always.
Oh my goodness, so great to see you. What an amazing time when you can line up people like Les Brown, the amazing Bill Walsh, Justin Guarini from American Idol to even perform for us. That was cool, but such a pleasure. And Scott always giving back and without any type of expectation in that abundance that you show up here, talk about support your community. I show up, and every time I hear you guys right there, our power, and people may discount showing up, but showing up is important, and just appreciate both of you and how you both show up for our community as well as your community. Thank you guys so much. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead. I've been doing this for over 28 years. I have not missed a week in over 28 years. It'll be October 11th. Will be 29 years, and ironically, my anniversary, the 29th anniversary, Monday. My wife's 29th birthday. I'm just kidding. We'll just tell her that. It's also on Tuesday. So I got a holiday in between the holidays. But the Nick of Wam is here, and just blessed to have an unbelievable young man who's shown up for years and years and years, and he's only 26. His birthday was last Saturday, as many of you know. The birthday boy, Nick of Wam. Why don't you go ahead and set the room for this training today on how to accelerate your potential?
Absolutely. And happy Friday to everybody, and welcome to another edition of David's Free Friday training. As David mentioned, he's been doing these for over 20 years. Today's topic is how to accelerate your potential. So David is going to guide us for the first 30 minutes on today's training, and then we open it up for Q&A. So for all of our friends in the multicast, as we are live on all platforms, make sure to put your questions into the chat for David for the second half of today's training. And for everybody here in the Breakfast with Champions, the greatest room and community on Clubhouse, as you start to have your questions for David, saving them for the second half of the Q&A, use the hand icon to request to join the stage, and we will bring you up. And of course, if you're already on stage and have a question for David when it's time, all you got to do is put a quick note in the room chat, and I will be happy to pass the mic over your way. For anybody joining us on the webinar or here on Clubhouse in the Breakfast with Champions as well, let's make sure that we're sharing this incredible thing of an opportunity with any of our friends, family, colleagues, anyone that benefits from today's training on how to accelerate your potential. And of course, for anybody that may want the guide, exercise, replay, and even a copy of David's book, which is not only from today's training, but his book specifically, that is free. It is We People. All you need to do is email the beloved servant himself, David at dmeltzer.com. Once again, that is just David at dmeltzer.com. And last but most certainly not least, before we get started here, we want to remind everybody as we're on tour to over 200 cities every single year, coming into those cities and adding on what we call a car wash, which is in addition of a community meetup, holding court, or even one of our VIP dinners for charity. So coming up, come and join us as we are going to be in San Diego, California for our next stop on the car wash tour. Before then, we will be back at the greatest stadium in the world, SoFi Stadium here in Los Angeles, for another one of our over-the-top masterminds plus car wash. Then we will be over to Rapid City, South Dakota with our partners in Property
Greatest stadium, Nick. Sorry to interrupt, but second greatest stadium. Just wanted to clarify.
I'm going to have to debate the big dog on that one. I hear your voice, man. Happy Friday.
I love that voice. Sounds very familiar. Very familiar.
After the great and or second greatest stadium, depending on who you ask, we'll be back to Rapid City, South Dakota with our partners at Property Meld and our Mountain More Mastermind plus car wash, and then closing things out in Viva Las Vegas for the production of Office Hours season number 11, in our TV show, plus car wash while we are there in Viva Las Vegas as well. Now that is just the next 2 weeks, and I know it is way too much to keep track of. So in our text community, if you would like these reminders on where we're going to be, and over 200 invitations but not obligations a year, texting up area code 949. Next 3 digits are 298. Last 4 digits are 2905. And I will be sure to put that as well as David's email in the room chat. But without further ado, Mr. Meltzer, passing it over to you to get us started with the how to accelerate your potential training.
I appreciate it, Nick. Thanks again. Once again, email me if you'd like the replay or the exercise guides. David at dmeltzer.com. Acceleration and potential. Too many people try to put time, linear time, their pursuits, let alone their pursuits of their potential. And nobody lacks potential. In fact, I remember Maslow, if you know Maslow's hierarchy, Maslow wrote something like, if you are not deliberately pursuing your potential, then you unfortunately are destined for an unhappy life. And so we don't lack potential, but we often lack that deliberate pursuit, awareness, discipline, devotion, consistency that's required to pursue it. Our lives are not shaped not only by what happens to us or for us, but the meaning that we give those experiences and behaviors actually happen through us. I mean, people can experience the exact same setback. You can imagine how many people have suffered the same setbacks that I have suffered, going bankrupt, losing everything. But one sees it as evidence to quit, while the other sees it as feedback to learn, to help find the light, the love, the lessons, to adjust, accelerate, and move forward. Our results have a progression, and so many people ignore that progression of getting the results that they want. Notate that when you get what you want, you're happy. It's just a part of human nature. When we get better than what we want, we're happy. And it doesn't come, though, in our time. It comes in divine times. And so we have to look before the result, since it's not going to be in man-made constructive times. It's not going to come from the end of the month, end of the week, end of the year, end of the decade. It comes from our thoughts. It is started with that seed of a thought from the mind, from that consciousness, and it leads to our perception, which is directly relative to gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability, the ingredients of a positive perception. And that perception, as we allow it to gain momentum through acceleration, becomes meaning that comes through us. And we want to make sure that our thoughts, our perceptions, and our meanings are aligned with our divine direction, giving meaning to the setbacks, the failures, the mistakes, the void shortages and obstacles, the defining moments, even historical relevances that people allow to interfere with their divine direction. We need to align the thoughts, perceptions, and meaning or divine direction, because that is how we create our intentions, and it impacts the 5 different levels of intention that we have. It'll impact what we do, what we say, what we think, what we feel, and what we believe. And if we can align what we do think, feel, and believe with our divine direction, it'll align our thoughts, perceptions, and meanings as well. But those 4 ingredients of thought, perception, meaning, and intention, those create the most impactful clues and patterns in our lives that indicate the divine direction and accelerate us to our potential. And that is our behavior. Not the extra mile behaviors, going extra mile every once in a while and use that to justify why we're not getting the A's in what we want to get A's in, right? We're studying 15 hours before a test, and then we use that to justify why we didn't get an A instead of studying 15 minutes a day, guaranteeing that behavior, guaranteeing us an A. When I examine athletes or entrepreneurs or businesses, all I need to do is reverse engineer the behaviors in the consistent divine direction in which they're in which ones are interfering with it, to the intentions, backwards to the meaning, backwards to the perceptions, even to thoughts, the seed of all creation. So if we want different results, if we want to accelerate our potential, we must elevate our awareness to the clues and the patterns of our thoughts, our perceptions, our meaning, and behavior that create them. Reverse engineer them. So today I'm going to take you through the lessons of how to accelerate this. Not to put a man-made construct of time of the end of the day, week, month, year, or even decade, but instead to facilitate, to make easy the consistent, everyday, persistent without quit pursuit of your potential, enjoyment thereof. The first lesson of understanding how to accelerate our potential is detachment from the FOPO, other people's opinion. So many of us interfere with our potential through the fear of other people's opinion. And we need to re-engineer that FOPO into JOPO, into the joy of other people's opinion, finding the light, the love, and the lessons through the results formula that we just went over. Fear of criticism interferes with our potential more than failure itself. When we attach our emotions to other people's opinion, the FOPO, we give them control. We give them control over our happiness, over our decisions, give them control of even our direction and the trajectory and acceleration of that direction. We know an opportunity is aligned with who we want to become. But so often we hesitate because we're worried about our family, our friends, our coworkers, our communities, our high buddies. No relativity association or feeding in our life anymore. But we are so worried about how and what they might think about what we think, do, say, feel, and believe. We can listen to feedback. We can find the light, the love, and the lesson in feedback without attaching our emotions to it, without fear of what they think, without the fear of failure. Now we transform that opinion and failure into feedback. Criticism of self and others are nothing but data for the clues and the patterns of what's aligned with our divine direction and what's interfering with it. But I promise you, if you detach from other people's opinion, neither will define who we are. When you are making decisions based upon data, including criticism, we must ask ourselves, are we making this decision from alignment or approval? We must align the divine and dissipate, dissolve, and disappear the approval. When we are able and capable of separating useful feedback, aligned divine feedback, from emotional interfering attachment, the fear of other people's opinion, then we are shortening the distance of resistance in which we are creating our future selves that we wish to become. So let's categorize things as we encounter other people's opinion, as we analyze the fear of other people's opinion and transform it into the JOPO, the joy of other people's opinion, by aligning, is this what others think? This criticism, this data is aligned with my divine direction of where and who I'd like to become, or is it interfering with it? If you like to transform your FOPO into JOPO, email me, the beloved servant. David means beloved. @D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. Let me be your beloved servant. David @dmeltzer.com. The second lesson in acceleration towards our potential is we need to make decisions and take action. Making a decision is absolutely not enough. It's like having a million great ideas and not ever taking it to market. Believe it or not, indecision is still a decision. When we refuse to choose, circumstances, other people, and our environment eventually makes the decision for us. Indecision is a decision. Make sure that that indecision as a decision is aligned with your divine direction of allowing the universe, the environment, to make the decision for us. We spend months waiting for perfect clarity before starting. Starting a business, a career, a job, a relationship, an opportunity, and we delay. waiting for perfection, eliminating progress. And as we wait for clarity, for certainty, pursuing whatever opportunity it is, we find and realize that that opportunity passed. Clarity comes from action. I'll repeat that. That clarity, that confidence, that comfortability comes from action. More often than action comes from clarity. It's counterintuitive, it's counter to human nature, but it's true. Instead of asking what we should do eventually, what we need to ask is, what should we do now? Because 100% of the things you do now get done, and 100% of the things you do next get done. That is what we need to know, what's important to us, aligned with our divine direction. And the easiest and fastest way to do that is to have non-negotiable behaviors. 9% of our progress will come from those non-negotiable behaviors, because we've already baked in what's important to us today. Now, the other 12 hours of the day, the wake time of 12 hours a day, is a matter of prioritization to understand what we should do now. Use the what, who, and the how to determine the now. Use our values of the what, who, and the how. What do you want today in alignment with where you want to be or better? Align the meaning of the past, the perceptions, the intentions, align the behaviors. Who can I help and who can we help? Who can help us? And determine the next best action, and do it now and do it next. This is how you apply or why. When we make decisions and take action. If you would like to learn more about how to prioritize and make decisions, understanding indecision, if you want to apply your why, and of course do it now, just email me and the replay and the books and the guides, david@dmeltzer.com. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The next lesson is we need to expand. The universe is constantly expanding. Our comfort zone, our learning zone, and our anxiety zone. We need to expand from the scarcity of not enough. Expand to the world of just enough for me, everything happens for me, to an abundant world of more than enough of everything for everyone, where you give more, you're given more, receive more, and ask for more than more. So you give more than more, be given more than more, receive more than more, and ask for more than more than more. Scarcity of thought can be more limiting, more interfering than scarcity of money. When we believe there isn't enough or just enough, we create the thoughts that create the perception, the meaning, and the intentions that create the behaviors that reinforce scarcity, fear, comparison, competition, and limitation. God is not going to give you that invitation without already knowing your limitations. So if he's okay with it, so should you be. Instead of helping someone because we're afraid they be a competitor, instead of making an introduction because you're afraid they'll steal your business, protect our knowledge and our relationships, limiting the value of opportunities that we can create. Not knowing that we are creating momentum, acceleration towards our potential when we move to abundance. There's more than enough of everything for everyone. This is what the world of more than enough is like. So instead of asking, what can we get? We could ask, what can we give? Fastest way to create abundance is to create value for others and ask for values from others. Understanding the infinite loop of giving. When we can identify where scarcity, interference is influencing our decisions, whether it be a genetic or even an energetic inheritance, it allows us to look for opportunities to give without expectation. It eliminates the comparison and the competition that stifles the abundance that we live in. We need to focus on expanding the pie rather than competing for a piece of it. I'm going to repeat that. We need to focus on expanding the pie rather than competing for a piece of it. If you would like to learn how to expand from the world of not enough into the world of just enough, and finally in a world of more than enough, where everything happens through you or others. Email me, your beloved servant. David means beloved. At D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. David at dmeltzer.com. The next lesson: control the meaning, not the circumstances. Trying to control circumstances is a fool's mission, a fool's end. We cannot control everything that happens around us, that's certain. But we have far more control over how we respond and how we realize. We have much more control on how we respond than how we realize. And the meaning that we assign and align to an experience determines what we will do next and now. When something goes not to plan, remember, coming up with a well-developed plan, which I believe in, by the way, always makes God laugh. But when something goes wrong, we can ask, why is this happening to us? Or we search for the light, the love, and the lessons within the experience and see how this circumstance can live through us. Gathering that light, gathering those lessons, and allowing it to pass through us, allowing us to pay the dummy tax to others. We don't need to control anything. The ego does, but we don't. The ego to defend ourselves, control everything, improve ourselves, but we don't need this. And we don't need to control the world around us. We take control of the meaning we assign to the world with our thoughts, perceptions, meaning, and intention, because that's what will drive our behavior. Behaviors will align with our results. We can strengthen that ability through value, through foundational values. If you want to strengthen your ability to give meaning to everything you see aligned in the divine direction of where you want to be or better, or what you want to become or better, if you want to accelerate your and our potential, then the 4 foundational values of gratitude, of finding the light, the love, the lessons, empathy, of forgiving ourselves and others, will see. Accountability will allow us to learn those lessons by asking, what did we do to be responsible? What did we do to attract this? What did we do to participate in the thoughts, the perceptions, the meaning, to create those behaviors and results? And finally, effective communication, to live in spirit, inspired, to clear the interference between you and what you want to become, to accelerate less distance towards our potential, our divine direction. We need to practice gratitude so thoughts to perception. We need to find the light, the love, and the lessons in everybody, every circumstance, every event, all the time in the divine. We need to practice empathy to give us ease, to clear the interference between us and that which already is, by seeking to learn to understand through forgiveness, the most powerful characteristic of all successful, fulfilled, passionate, purposeful, and profitable people, givers. Practice accountability to allow us to have certainty within the uncertainty, by asking, what do we do to be responsible to attract it or participate in the perception, and what are we supposed to learn this? And then communicate through inspiration rather than manipulation. Communicate with that which holds infinite intelligence, intuition, inspiration, energy, and allow it to come through you, inspired in spirit, for the sake of helping others and enjoying it, rather than transacting with it, manipulating it, lying to it, cheating it, manipulating, overselling, back and sell it. Don't do it. Don't deny it. Supply it by taking control of the thoughts, perceptions, and meaning that will lead your attention to the correct behaviors and accelerate you to your potential. If you would like the lessons, the guides, the replay, controlling the meaning, not the circumstances. And any other of these exercises, guys, in the replay from today or even my book, david@dmeltzer.com. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The next lesson, we need to move through fear. We need to move through doubt. We need to move through indecision. That interference of fear, doubt, and indecision will create interference between us and our potential. It will stagnate us from the world of nothingness to possibility, the world of possibility to probability, the world of probability to perception, especially interfering with perception to reality. It takes what could happen and convinces us that it cannot, rendering us in a world of not enough, a world of nothingness, living our lives like tubes, food in, food out, and limiting our potential, slowing, interfering with our acceleration. We see an opportunity that could transform our lives, could bring great lessons to us, to expand the comfort zone to the learning zone to the anxiety zone, and expanding our anxiety zone so we can handle more, which is an important question to ask us when we move through fear, doubt, and decision. Can I handle this? And when you answer yes, you're moving through it. I love the mantra when things start to edge towards the anxiety zone. I love it. Can I handle it? I can handle it. It takes all the fear out of the doubt. It allows me to move through that fear and indecision. So many, 98% of the people live as drifters, drifting through a nothingness, living their tubes, as I mentioned, like living their lives, as I mentioned, like tubes. But possibilities, when you know what you want in that divine direction with the perceptions and meaning, and align it with the past and the future, that possibility can become a probability. You know who you can help and who can help you in that divine direction. That probability will influence your perspective when you use time with non-circumstantial and circumstantial behaviors, non-negotiable and negotiable behaviors, non-time and scheduled time, paid for time, unpaid for time, even your sleep. And finally, that how of perspective will shape our reality by prioritization, the antidote to procrastination. Prioritization, the antidote to feeling overwhelmed. Prioritization allows us to do it now and do it next, because the nothingness needs to be possible, probable, perspective into reality. And then finally, when interference reappears, we go ahead and apply by identifying how we respond. And in that response, we use our free will to stop. Breathe through our nose, out through our mouth, drop down to the recollection, remembrance, and reminder of us in the Holy Spirit, us in the infinite intelligence, information, in energy, intuition, and intelligence that exists. And now we can roll back into our divine direction of what we want, who we can help, who can help us, how to get it done, and prioritize again, expanding and moving through fear, doubt, and indecision. Stop the interference. Stop negative thoughts, perception, meaning, intentions, and behaviors of what we do, say, think, feel, and believe. Stop and acknowledge and recognize, remember, recollect the interference to roll into the divine direction. We could drop to center, when we drop to peace, when we can dissipate, dissolve, disappear the interference, when we drop into that center to remind, recollect, reconnect with our source, your God, your values, we then can roll in that divine direction through immediate action. Remember, if your mind, your body, and soul are on fire, and you need to move through the fear, the doubt, and the indecision, everybody's mama always taught them, if you catch on fire, your mind, your body, or your soul, You got to stop. You got to drop. You got to roll. If anybody would like to understand how to roll, to move through fear and decision and doubt, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. The last lesson for today of how to accelerate our potential. Lesson of purpose, of persistence, and non-negotiable behaviors, which I previously had mentioned. Purpose, which needs to be greater than your pain. If your purpose is greater than your pain, you'll never quit. Purpose gives our action meaning, and it makes the enjoyment of the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of our potential. It facilitates it. It makes it easy. But purpose can not exist only as a vision of the future. Something I am searching for. It has to show up in everything that we do consistently today. It has to be greater than our pain. We have an extraordinary objective in our divine direction, but if our daily thoughts, meanings, perceptions, intentions, and behaviors don't support it with purpose, the goal remains an intention rather than reality. We don't rise to the level of our intentions. We fall to the consistency of our behaviors. We don't rise to the level of our intentions. We fall to the consistency of our behaviors. And when we enjoy the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of our potential, that is built through small devotional behaviors repeated over time. And there is a difference between discipline and devotion. I know so many people that are extremely disciplined. They especially disciplined in working. Nobody can work harder than me. Nobody works longer than me. Nobody works smarter than me. I'm very disciplined and working harder, smarter, and longer than you. But if you're not in the divine direction, if you haven't aligned the thoughts, the perceptions, the meaning, and your intentions, you're just disciplined. And you're going to get so busy working, you're not going to make any money. You're going to get so busy working, you're not going to spend time with your family. And you're going to get so busy working, you're not going to take care of your health. But you will be disciplined at working. Congratulations. You need to be devotional. You need to align that discipline with the divine direction of where you think you want to be or better by aligning the thoughts, the perceptions, the meaning, the intentions, and the behaviors with that divine direction. That's devotion. Guided by, protected by, promoted by, loved by your God. Something bigger than you that knows every effing thing in the world, an infinite, abundant, unified system that's protecting, promoting, loving, perfecting you more than your mom. So in this purpose of persistence, we need to ask ourselves, who can we help today and who can help us? You see, who can help us is just as important as who we can help, because if we ask for help, if we receive help, we're allowing people to be able and capable of helping us. And if you are able and capable of helping others, you're at your higher self, you're at your potential, you're closest to God. Why reject or deny anyone else that same opportunity? Why do it? Allow them to be able and capable of helping you. Watch how a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other, watch how they buy from each other and for each other for life by subject matter, topic, and expertise. This is why we have our strategic accelerator group. If you're not a part of it, number one, if you can't afford it, it's only about $500 a year, don't join. And if you're not going to be engaged, you can afford it, aren't going to use it, don't join. But for those people that actually want to get engaged, like the thousands of people that are in our Strategic Alliance Accelerator, join, because we guarantee it. It's a profit center, a purpose center, persistence center, and a non-negotiable. And we need to establish our non-negotiables by assigning a minimum amount of time every single day, week, month, and year to what's most important to us. It is how we have control in the uncertainty. When we assign time every day, a minimum amount of time, 7 days a week, to our sleep, to our health, to our family, to our faith, yes, to our finance, and of course, the study of time and relativity. That is negotiable. 90% of your acceleration towards your potential is created, and it leaves 12 hours of awake time. The majority of non-negotiable behavior in your life should be sleep. It leaves 12 hours minimum of non-negotiable behavior that we can execute every day through the what, the who, the how, and the now, and prioritize in the divine direction, utilizing the thoughts, the perceptions, the meaning, the intentions, and the behaviors that get us to where we want to be or better, even though all of it's already predetermined and predetermined and preset by non-negotiable behaviors. So establish minimums amount of time, assign to behaviors that are most important to you every single day, 7 days a week. It doesn't mean you can't go off the grid for the other 12 hours. It's just you're not going to lose the mental acceleration because you have non-negotiable behavior. So when you're in the middle of the jungle, you still can spend a minimum of time sleeping, on your health, on your family, on your faith, on your finance, even studying time and relativity. If you dedicate and assign time daily to finding the light, the love, and the lessons in relationships, health, utilizing gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication, find light, love, and the lessons in everything you do in your divine direction. If you dedicate that time, you can measure quantitatively ourselves and ourselves and our divine direction by consistency rather than perfection, by progress rather than perfection, driven by purpose, driven by persistence, and driven by non-negotiable behavior. If you would like to drive your life with purpose, persistence, and non-negotiable behaviors, if you would like the exercises I book, if you'd like any of the replay, just email me. David means beloved. @D is my first initial. Meltzer means servant. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. I'd be happy to be of service to you. Let me be that beloved servant. We don't lack potential. We lack the awareness, the devotion, consistency required to accelerate it. We need to turn our FOPO into JOPO, the joy of other people's decisions. We need to learn to make decisions aligned with our divine direction and take action in that same alignment. We need to expand. Aligned with an expanding universe, expand our comfort zone, our learning zone, our anxiety zone, scarcity to abundance, to a world of more than enough of everything for everyone. And we need to surrender by taking control of our thoughts, meaning, perceptions, intentions, and behaviors, not trying to control the circumstances or of ourselves or defend ourselves as the ego would like us to. We need to move through it, not to it or for, but through it. We need to move through fear and doubt and indecisions, taking the nothingness, living like tubes into possibilities, into probabilities, in perspective, into our reality by knowing the what, the who, the how, and the now, and applying our why. We need to utilize purpose, persistence, and non-negotiable behaviors to get us to where we want to be or better. Our potential isn't somewhere in the future waiting for us. It's available right now. Every minute, every day, every week, every month, every year, every thought, every perception, intention, and behavior are either accelerating us toward our potential or creating interference in it. We don't transform our lives through one extraordinary decision or action. We transform those lives through ordinary decisions made consistently, every day, persistently, without quit, in the pursuit of our potential. We choose gratitude over resentment and guilt. We choose abundance over scarcity. We choose action over indecision. And most importantly, purpose over pain and fear. We are not here to defend, control, or prove our potential. We are here to pursue it. Our responsibility is to enjoy the consistent everyday, persist without quit, pursuit of our potential. Once again, if you'd like the replay exercises or guide, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you'd like to join our Strategic Alliance Accelerator, david@dmeltzer.com. I'm going to hand it back to the greatest moderator that I know, the best student I've ever had, the incredible Nick of WOM. Nick, can you reset the room and let's take some Q&A?
Yes, sir. And thank you, David, for a great half of today's training, how to accelerate your potential. And as a reminder to everybody, if you want the guide, exercise, and replay today's training, all you need to do is email the beloved servant himself, david@dmeltzer.com. Once again, that is just david@dmeltzer.com. And as a reminder to everybody, now as we transition to the Q&A time of today's training, for all of our friends in the multicasted webinar, which is live on all platforms, make sure to put your questions for David today into the chat. And of course, for all of our friends here in the Breakfast with Champions, the greatest room and community on Clubhouse, as you have your questions for David today, use the hand icon in the lower left-hand corner of your screen to request to join the stage, and we will, of course, bring you up. And for any friends that are already on stage and have a question for David today, all you need to do is put a quick note in the room chat, and I will be happy to pass the mic over your way. Now, without further ado, to get us started with the Q&A side, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Marco Antonio, and we have Brent Nick, who is back. But Marco, you are up to bat, my friend. Unmute yourself and kick us off with the first question of the day.
All right. Good morning and happy Friday. David, my question for you is, how do we make sure we're not using positive meaning to avoid confronting a truth that we don't want to face? Like, is there a such thing as toxic positivity?
Interesting. So how do we analyze or elevate our awareness to lying to ourselves? I don't think in the realm of physics there could be toxic positivity, because if you are faking it, then that's not positive, right? If you are elevating your awareness to something, being vulnerable, being humble, and not lying to yourself and saying, you know, this is what I wanted to become, but here's the areas that I need to work on, and be positive about that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. That is positive. But I see so many people, like I said, lying to themselves, and they have a toxic, false sense of positivity. They're lying to themselves all the time, and you going the extra mile, not the empty mile, living in blame, shame, and justification. So I don't think you can have toxic positivity. I think that when you are not in alignment with your divine direction and living to your essence, and having the right train of thoughts, of perceptions, meanings, and intentions that are aligned with your behavior, then you're interfering with it. And so toxicity exists in the interference, not in the positivity. Does that make sense? Oh, I guess so.
I was going to say, real quick, I think he's blown away by this.
Yeah, kind of blown away. Yeah, thank you. I dropped off for a moment, but thank you, David. Yes, I'm going to have to digest that.
And I'll work through that some more. So I know that's the first time someone's asked me that, but I do know there's no toxicity and positivity. The toxicity exists in what we're doing here with it. And so at its premise, the answer is there can't be toxic and positive if it's true.
Yes, so many times, even if the situation is negative, I try to respond with something positive, even though sometimes it doesn't seem like, you know, it could seem like I'm avoiding really what's happening in front of me. So that's where the question came from. I appreciate you breaking that down.
Yeah, I don't think that avoids it. If you're asking yourself, what am I supposed to learn from it?
Thank you, David.
Good questions. Thank you. All right, Nick, what's up next?
We got Brent, who is ready to rock and roll, with Allie, who is on the on-deck circle. Brent, go ahead, my friend, unmute yourself and keep us rolling.
Happy Friday. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, David. Great question. Great question about that positivity. Because, sometimes I suffer from that disease as well. But here's my question. Potential, right? Part of my mission statement is be happy, be yourself, be your potential. I'm currently studying, Course in Miracles and A Return to Love. And there was a chapter in it about how potential is actually not really great because it's living in the future, which doesn't exist, and you should just stay within your capabilities. And I was like, oh, wow, should I change my whole mission statement? Because the whole living in the moment thing, but now potential's seen as some sort of, detachment from reality, which exists now. And that confused the hell out of me. So I figured I'd ask you, David. I think you know the answer to this question.
I have my answer to it is you're misinterpreting it, because the idea is to, in your present, pursue your potential, but not attached to it. So we're referring to the attachment to the potential, which creates resistance, which elevates a man-made construct of time, of linear time that you need to be somewhere. And so you remember, in the present, your purpose is to pursue the potential, not to attach your emotions to it. I'm happy when I reach the potential economically of this opportunity. No, I'm going to pursue that potential for the sake of helping others. And I think your mission statement is spot on.
All right. Yeah. No, that's actually really good perspective. Love it. Yeah. Keeping the mission statement. Thank you, David. Thank you, Nick. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, Brent.
Beautiful. And we got Allie here on Clubhouse for the next question of the day with Colleen on deck. So, Allie, the mic is yours.
Hi, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Awesome. Great training. My question today is about your distinction between FOCO and JOPO. So when we move from FOCO, seeing things through fear and anxiety, into JOPO, seeing possibility and opportunity, how do we actually train ourselves to make that shift when sometimes the circumstances haven't changed?
You got to practice. So anytime people want to understand how to get better at something, you have to practice it. So things are changing. Scary. Time, emotion, and value are changing every instant. So don't tell yourself things or circumstances haven't changed. They've changed. Your perspective hasn't. And so when you have JOPO, the joy of other people's opinion, when you have JOMO, the joy of missing it, we're looking for the light, the love, and lessons in that circumstance. Remember, you can't solve a problem in the same consciousness which created. So this is why I believe, one of the powers of AI is I love taking my challenges, setbacks, and failures and asking, AI, ChatGPT, Claude, how would Einstein solve this circumstance in my life? How would he resolve this relationship issue that I'm having? How would he resolve the economic situation I'm in? Or if it isn't Einstein, maybe it's Dr. Wayne Dyer. If it's not him, maybe it's Gandhi. If it's not him, maybe it's Warren Buffett. It doesn't matter. We give meaning to everything we see. And I promise you, circumstances are always changing every single instant of the day. Time, emotion, and value change. And you need to find the light, the love, and the lessons, and make sure that you're aligning the thoughts, the perceptions, the meaning, the intentions, the behaviors, and the outcomes will come exponentially better than you imagined. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know it's a journey, so always room for improvement and getting better. So I just appreciate your encouragement. And I like the shift of consciousness with AI. So that's something that I'll try as well. So thank you.
You're welcome. Progress, not perfection, here on Clubhouse. Speaking of which, Wammer, we are deep into the fourth quarter. We got time for a couple more questions.
Absolutely. We got Colleen here on stage, ready to rock and roll with the next question with Gigi on deck. Colleen, the mic is yours.
Morning. Happy Friday, everybody. Dave, so when it comes to the idea of purpose over pain, is purpose something that protects you from the pain, or is it really something that transforms how you're experiencing, whether it's the mission, the exercise, and how have you ever felt that transformation over time?
Yeah, of course. So it does not protect, but it processes it, right? So your second perception is correct, right? It doesn't protect you from pain. In fact, you're not going to grow if you're protected from pain. That's, parents' biggest problem today. It's inherent problem all the time is that we would never make our children suffer or struggle or create situations God creates for his children. He is infinite and has the confidence of understanding how purpose built and how it's maintained by continually providing different thresholds of pain so that you get stronger. And obviously, anyone that lifted weights would know what this is, and it's a perfect analogy to life. And that the more you create and test and create struggle and pain, the stronger you'll become and greater your purpose becomes. So there's a transformation that occurs every single day for me and for you. It's just elevating your awareness to enjoy that consistent, persistent of our potential, which causes expansion, which causes change, which causes pain, and being able to withstand, like I said, asking that one question, can I handle it? That's the first thing I say, because the reality sets in. If the answer is ever no, I'm screwed. So I want to make sure that I remember, and recollect who walks with me and the power that's inside of me, that I can handle it. I can handle it. And so then I go ahead and start handling it instead of being a victim, instead of lying, cheating it, manipulating, denying it. I use gratitude, empathy, accountability, and effective communication to supply it with my why, apply the inspiration, intelligence, intuition, all the God-given infinite capabilities, energy that I have, because I can handle it. It's just a matter of time. I figure it out because the solution's already there. And it's just a lapse of time until it becomes a resolution, a resolution. Excellent question. Everyone transforms himself through pain.
Thank you so much, Colleen. And happy over here to Gigi for the next question of the day. Gigi, the mic is yours, and Judith is on deck.
Hello, happy Friday, David. And one thing that it reminded me and it changed my life is when you talk about behaviors and you follow the level of your intention, you follow your behavior. You don't rise to the level of intention, you fall to the level of your behavior. And one thing you did early on, you told me this, and I'll never forget it, changed my life. You told me, don't go below the line. And remember what I want to do in that moment. How important it is to have a mentor who can help you to point that out, like, hey, this behavior is not serving you. Because that, and whenever you do that, it changed my life. So yeah, I'm wondering.
Thank you. So yeah, going below the line, shame and justification. Anybody wants that guide of understanding how that works. But to your point, we all need to be accountable, and it's hard to be kind in the respect of honest. Right? To our future self, what does that mean? Be honest with yourself. Be kind to others. What does that mean? Be honest with others. Does that mean honesty is going to be nice? No. Too many people get themselves in too many problems because they want to be nice, which is fear of other people's opinion. They're trying to please other people, thinking that they're going to be accepted or liked or whatever it may be. But, kind is what you want to be. You want to be truthful. Can you be diplomatic and kind? Absolutely. But sometimes kind is not nice. And I'm done worrying about being nice and pleasing other people. I'm kind. So I'm going to bring the best out of you by pointing out things that I may see that may or may not be true. And hopefully you'll receive it, and I will constitute and confirm that you're someone I want to be around, because you take that kindness and disregard niceness of what I've said, and we elevate our bond into the pursuit of potential, knowing though I wasn't nice with what I said, I was super kind and I must really care about you. I've told employees all the time who complain about, pushing them or, saying something that's not nice or didn't please them. And I'd say, man, I'd much rather me, your boss or the owner of the company or chairman or whatever I am, I will take it as a compliment that I care enough not to be nice and be kind. When you should worry is when I don't care at all and I'm not telling you, or worse, just to you because you're not worth my time. Being kind is not being nice. Living above the line, taking accountability to learn the light, the love, and the lessons is part of being kind as well. If anybody would like those exercise, email me, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. Happy to send the AAA accountability below the line and nice versus kind training that I did for Napoleon Hill this week. All right, Nick, we have time for one last question. It's Judith that's on deck.
There we go. Judith, the mic is yours. Take us away with the final question. Oh, Judith, lower left-hand corner is unmute. There she is.
There she is.
I need to be reminded sometimes.
And remembered.
Thank you very much, David. I remember you like it was yesterday when we first met. And I'm wearing my headset so I look like I'm coming in from Mars. But I was nice to somebody who was a friend of mine of 49 years by allowing her to come into my business. And it definitely didn't end very well. And now I'm in a dilemma. And I don't know if this is much of a question, but now I'm grieving the relationship with my travel partner that I used to go and do things with. I know that's emotional, and I'm getting to the point where I'm building my wall, I guess, or strengthening my emotions, which I guess being an entrepreneur I have to do. But how do you grieve a relationship, do business, and remember kindness is better than niceness?
Yeah, that's a lot to unpack real quickly, but yes. I love the fact that you're there grieving a relationship, and, relationships, have reasons, seasons. It just depends. And so time heals the forgiveness that's necessary to move forward with the capabilities of that relationship. And so there were certain components of the relationship that you would like to maintain and grow. And there's certain components when we get into business with people that we don't want to anymore, because once again, that is a much more specific relativity working with somebody than having a friendship where we travel together. And so the specificity relativity of relationships requires us to take the time to forgive. And so I would work to accelerate the potential of that relationship, work on forgiving yourself through gratitude, asking yourself, where do I find the love and the lessons from working together? 2, forgiveness of self, which will easily allow you to forgive them. And then accountability. What did I do to be responsible for this situation that's causing me to grieve? What am I do to attract it to myself? I do to participate in the perception, and what am I supposed to learn from it? And as you work through gratitude, empathy, accountability, you'll start to be inspired to elevate and align the capabilities that you do want in the relationship and allow the ones you don't want to fall away. And if you find that the relativity, association, and being is not a prioritized one, you may know that that relationship was just a season one, and you will pray for that person's happiness and find somebody else that is better and will align with all the different capabilities that you're looking for. That'll do it for today. This has been How to Accelerate Your Potential. The replays, guides, exercises, my books are all available for you. David@dmeltzer.com. I'm going to allow the amazing Wammer to close out Clubhouse. I'll close out the multicast. Remember, most importantly, though, be more interested than interesting. Kind to your future self and do good deeds. Wammer, close out my the clubhouse for me. Thank you, brother. Yes, sir. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. As I close out the multicast, just a reminder of where we're going to be. I thank everybody in Atlanta yesterday. Last Bill, everybody. I'll be in San Diego. Come visit us in San Diego. Then SoFi Stadium. Then the Mount Rushmore Mastermind, City, South Dakota. Then Vegas for season 11 of Office Hours. VIP dinners, interviews, holding courts, meetups, all of them available for you. We do everything for a charitable purpose or cause. San Diego, LA at SoFi Stadium, Mount Rushmore, Las Vegas. If you love any of these cities or more, stay informed, stay invited. 949-298-2905. That's 949-298-2905. Be informed, be invited. Once again, if you like the replays, guides, or exercises for free, David at dmeltzer.com. Once again, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Hit it, Gigi.
Hey! 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 Oh, hey! Wanna know where David's gonna be? Get invites, updates, and community. When he's in your city, you won't miss a thing. Just text the number, let your phone ring, 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 ring. 949-298-2905. That's 949-298-2905. Events, connection, and opportunity. All in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. 949-298-2905. That's 949-298-2905.
Welcome to Office Hours, hosted by legendary sports executive, entrepreneur, and investor David Meltzer, where the brightest entrepreneurial minds in business, sports, and entertainment get together to talk about success, failure, and everything in between.
There's so much more effort someone will give if it is not seen as the job, but the thing that they enjoy doing with their life.
We both view all of it that way. It's like, how in this interaction am I going to add excessive value to the person on the other side? And neither of us, I think, accept anything less than that.
I have no self-worth tied up in Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, the entrepreneur. My self-worth is fully and utterly 100% attached to how I treat human beings.
Take a deep dive into the mind of some of the world's most impactful guests.
Very simply, getting people's mind realigned and showing them evidence of what they can do so that they know that they can make the right decision in the moment.
I knew I could get better, and I knew, because no matter how late to the game you are, there's a phrase I invite everybody to live by, which is there's always room for the best.
To share their strategies and tools to dominate their respective fields.
Overarching umbrella, I would say, about how to accomplish it all is to find things that you're just really passionate about and that you love and you're interested in.
You got to do it because you truly love it. And at some point, if you're thriving in it and if you are being progressive at it, you'll probably get recognized for that.
David Meltzer hosts Office Hours.